Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that's my furnace sticks on. The ARC Group 3 Masters returns as... that's happening. We head to the 7th of 10 race weekends. The Enduro at Spa is next on the calendar. And I've once again ended up in the smaller session of pre-qualifying. I don't know how I keep doing this. It honestly makes qualifying really hard to cover as a commentator when I'm only looking at, like, not even half of the field. Oh, come on, AJ. No. Oh, Alexander Brown is late to the party here. I wonder if we're probably about to restart the qualifying session for him. I'm not sure. No, they are not. Okay. I guess that answers that question. I wonder if he's just joined the wrong one and the other session hasn't started yet, or who knows what. Anyway, yeah, Spa. Everyone knows this track. Honestly, I don't hate Spa. It's just this track has never been very kind to me, so I have a negative opinion because of that. I don't hate Spa, but Spa very clearly hates me. And so I don't like racing at it because it tends to be a bit of an abusive relationship, shall we say. But enough about me. I'm the commentator, I'm not on the track. And the commentator who's got very very congested lungs at the moment. Thank you, asthma. Very cool. It'll probably be dry soon enough because I don't have any water down here, but it's too late to go up and get the water. I have a can of Mountain Dew. Not really the best thing for a voice that's about to be strained for like an hour and change. My ear itches. We are one bus stop away from the first time lap of the session starting. Stefan Robershad, as what seems to be a relatively common occurrence, will be the first driver to actually take the start-finish line. Which I forgot is there on this layout, even though it's the 24-hour layout we're using for the day-night cycle and such. Down the hill, then back up the hill for Eau Rouge and Radion. Looked a little bit squirrely in the middle, but that may have just been synchronization. Continue up the hill, the Kemmel straightaway. Heavy braking, best passing zone on the track besides the bus stop for Lake Home. I always get Lake Home and Les Sources confused. I know the names. I don't remember. I sometimes have to like mentally check in my head, like, okay, source, bottom. Because it's the source of the river that's underneath that part of the track. That's why it's a sudden hill. Down Rivage, or is that no name? And one of these two is no name, one of these two is Rivage. Up to Puhan, the fastest, like, meaningful turn on the track. Technically, Blanchimont is faster, I know, but that's also not even... You don't even tap the brakes for that in these cars, or most cars, for that matter. Into the chicane... Is it a chicane or is it an S section? It's kind of both, ain't it? Stavlo 1. Stavlo 2. Absolute, hidden blade of a corner, that one, because it will definitely just sneak up on you and absolutely ruin your day. Ask me how I know. Here comes Blanchimont. And stop for the bus stop. That is a lap of Spa. One of the few tracks where I know most of the names, I just can't always attach them to the correct actual turns for some reason. There's a 2:18.5 to start off the session. Luke Allen will get close in 18.6. Only a few hundredths off. Adam Pelk nowhere close, a 20.0. That's Marcus Snow, I think. He does a 20.8, so just behind Adam. Actually, 8 tenths behind Adam. AJ Knickel with only an 18.8, so he doesn't even topple Luke Allen. And Deshaun Davis, who's heading through Blanchimont, will be the last driver to get a lap in. Kyle Voiles with a 28.2. I sometimes refer to this in a sense as like a mini Nordschleife. It's about on par with difficulty. It's just we're condensing that insane difficulty into like 4 miles rather than 13. It's about a third of the distance of the Nordschleife, but it can be just as punishing. And I think Eau Rouge is more infamous for race-ending incidents than any individual Nordschleife turn is. Although Flugplatz might be pretty close. We'll see a sector timer soon to see if Robichaud is up on his previous time that's already at the top of the charts. There it is. He's up by almost a whole second. Yeah, I would say he's going faster. I don't know how many are going home. I could probably turn on my tablet and actually check that. Or maybe not. Probably once Robichaud hits the pits, I'll probably bring up the PlayStation Menu to check the other party, because that's the only other way I have available to me to check that. This should be into the 17s. 17.5, 7.3. I'd be very surprised if that doesn't just find Robichaud through, regardless of what happens with everybody else in this session. An 18.9, did I read that right from Adam Pelk? I think so, yeah. 18.2, a 2.18, 2.18. Wildly satisfying lap time from AJ Knickel will jump him over the CL7 driver. Excuse me, I forgot to hit the mute button. I am having a moment navigating this menu. This is not that screen. Okay, so there's 18 people in total across the 2 other ARC parties. So presumably 3 guys are going home. So anybody 4th in this session is guaranteed to be safe no matter what. I think that's the same exact attendance that we had last week at the Nordschleife too, so go figure. He isn't in this server, but I do know we have at least 1 debuting driver. Actually, we have 2, technically. We have the new Brock Nelson, who is definitely new because he only signed up within the last 6 days. He wasn't in the league when we ran the Nordschleife last week. And he is representing Vision 47, driving their 3rd Supra. But I think this is technically the on-track debut for Don Mattiello for NFR, who replaced the exiting Gary Latimirak, who headed over to KVH at the earliest convenience. Wait, no. Did he? No, he didn't. He went to Wildcard, I think, or something. I don't remember. My throat is really having a problem, if you can't tell. That's the wrong button. I really should have grabbed that water. I'm regretting everything. Oh, the 2 Toyotas in this session are going to barely get 1 last lap in. Looks like Luke Allen should have another chance after this too. if he desires, which I would assume he will want to take a last shot. Why wouldn't you? Which means the first driver whose session will be over is one Deshaun Davis, who's... Yeah, he's not going to get to the finish line in 9 seconds. That's an 18.6 for Luke Allen. He finds time, but he doesn't go up the leaderboard. However, his session isn't over yet. Oh, Adam Pelk barely started that. He hit that timer at 9 minutes 59 or something. Oh, Kyle Voyles has a penalty. His session is over, and he will almost certainly be going home with a lap time that's yeah, he's just out of here. He has given up. Deshaun Davis will have massive oversteer in the final chicane. That will definitely hurt his chances of getting anywhere. A 21.3, not even an improvement for him. Now, conveniently, I just have to scroll down the leaderboard as it stands, and that's the order that they'll complete their laps in. So, Robichaud heading through the Stavlos at the moment. He is 2/10 down, so he may not be on track for much of an improvement, but with the 17.5 he set earlier, he might not even need one to begin with. And Blanchimont. All of the racetrack is being used. That's just how you do it here. Luke Allen has ended his session prematurely. Must have made some kind of mistake. Robichaud a little wide into the bus stop, but you can just about recover that. It's the exit that matters, but he lost more time. An 18 flat will not improve. Oh, that's going to be very dangerous. No, it isn't. A 17.8. AJ Knickle gets super close, but he cannot topple his teammate. And Adam Pelk, who is heading towards Blanchimont now, will be the final driver to run. If he can find 4/10, he can jump over Luke Allen and be third in this session, and guarantee himself a spot in the race, regardless of how the other drivers in the other server get along. Out of the last turn, he needs 3/10. He finds 2.25 tenths, basically 2.5 tenths. Doesn't jump Luke Allen, but if it's a tight contest in the other server, that 2/10 might have just been a race saver. And that is our this qualifying session. And now just wait for the time it takes to figure out who's going home and figure out the overall starting grid order whilst people migrate to this server. Doing Eau Rouge at 50. Never mind. However, knowing the types of people that are in the other server, or I guess the drivers that are in the other server, I wouldn't be surprised if Pole is in the low 16s. I really wouldn't be. So I think the other session got a bit of a later start, so we're gonna have to wait a couple of minutes just to even see what happens over there. Back to practice. Well, we know that Kyle Voyles is gone. He literally left the session, so. Well, Deshaun is gone. We know that. I guess. I think Ridwan's typing the results here. Is anybody driving? I just look at... No, understandable. Have a great day. Okay, cool. Should I put, like, Subway Surfers in the bottom right corner there? And there's the confirmation, the third one going home is it Dan or Don? I think it's Don Mattiello. Jesus. Might be the same attendance numbers from the Nordschleife, but not very many of the same drivers. So I don't think there was a single JAT car last week, and now we're already looking at Heredia and Nathan Jurgens. We're going to see a lot of pit exit violations, aren't we, today? apologize for being so quiet. It's just there's not really much to go over because we're still setting up the grid. I'm just kind of waiting for that. I don't have like what real racing broadcasts do. I don't have a bunch of random statistics or information to bring up on the screen or fancy looking graphics presented by Amazon or AWS. I think they're the same thing. I'm just a guy. Okay, there we go. The grid has been formed. Okay, so that is... Wait, where the heck... Is Brown here? Okay, no, that's why it's done. Okay, got it. I was about to say, wait a minute, you're only allowed to have 3 scoring cars enter a race. Brown just never entered, that's why Boyles was even on the track. I was about to say, there's no way he left me for a team that's already full. Anyway, team owner biases aside, Regal Auto is once again your pole sitter, followed by Ridwan Hamza. Jonas Itkonen is finally back on form and qualifying pace here at Spa. Stefan Robichaud, Alexis Heredia, Darius in the Nissan, AJ Knickel, Gary Latimirak, Luke Allen, Adam Pelk, Brock Nelson will qualify 11th on his debut, Nathan Jurgens, Kevin Kepley, Marcus Snow, and Pat Maher rounds out the grid. The lone ECR car to make the grid out of the... No. I'm stupid. I forgot Adam Pelk was 10th. You said that name like 20 seconds ago, Riker. My brain was, for some reason, thinking Deshaun was the only other one that was here. And that Adam was like me and runs the team but doesn't race. No, I think this is the one series he does race, so... Well, at least until our NASCAR gets back underway. We'll have 25 laps. Where in the world is Ridwan going? Regal Auto is on mediums. That is a decision from pole. Latimirak is matching him. Luke Allen and Brock Nelson are also on mediums, as are most of the cars at the back, which is what you'd probably expect them to do. But the cars at the front, like Regal Auto and to a certain degree Latimirak, you wouldn't really think that they'd do that. Usually you want to be on the softs at the start if you're near the front, and the mediums are a thing you try at the back to mix up the strategy because you probably won't be able to get too far on your pace alone if you're starting back there. Okay, that was a bit of a muff tap there, I'm assuming. And the grid is doubling up out of Blanchimont. I also thought they'd do it earlier for some reason. Oh, stop thinking about team owner stuff right there. You have to commentate. The race is gonna go green in like a few feet. And there we go, Regal Auto floors it. The Spa Endurance is underway. And he has caught Ridwan asleep at the wheel. He will easily lead into T1. The closest contest is Robichaud trying to sneak around the outside of Itkunen to try and steal third. I don't think he's going to have much success. Heredia and Darius will drag race down towards Eau Rouge. I think the Nissan will win that, though. And up one of the most dangerous turns in motorsports we go. I already seen Latimerek off the track and a pair of crashing CL7 cars. Yep, that's Eau Rouge things for you. And a rough start to the day for the CL7 Lexus. Darius will take advantage of Robichaud missing the chicane. He's going to lose 2 places, both to Darius and to Heredia. And I believe that we have just called a safety car for the pileup at Eau Rouge between Snow and Kepley. I couldn't tell from the cinematic camera angle if those 2 cars collided at Eau Rouge, or if they were just isolated crashes that just happened at the exact same time, and basically the exact same place, and basically the exact same way. I almost wonder if we'll see any of the few guys that started on mediums immediately jump back off of them onto the softs, which would be the faster tire throughout the race. This game doesn't really do tire wear properly in a way that makes you, have any need to go onto the mediums for a longer stint outside of necessity. If you can get away with just 2-stopping on and off the mediums, that's what we've seen people do multiple times. I wouldn't be surprised if under the safety car we see even somebody like Rodrigo or Latimerek go in now, get off of the mediums because they have done their mandatory lap on them, and just run softs from here to the flag. It's a bit of a cheesy strategy, and I don't want to say it goes against the spirit of endurance racing, because it doesn't. It's just kind of like... It seems very stubborn and very rule book code. It's like, oh, well, you needed 1 lap? I did 1 lap. We'll see what if anybody pits here. Yep, I knew it. Rodrigo is going in. I bet you his teammate follows. Yep. I am surprised Robichaud's going in, though. He's on the mediums. He's not on the mediums, excuse me. And some of the cars in the back are probably going in to top up on fuel. Marcus Snow and Kevin Kepley are also pitting. Realistically, that'd be for damage as well, but, I mean, that's not really a requirement. But yeah, 5 will get you 10. We don't see either of those Nissans on the mediums for the rest of the race. And so they don't actually forfeit a whole lot of track position. Regal was very much like bailed out by the fact that only 6 cars actually stayed out on the track, and 2 of them are going to be on the harder compound, so they'll be even easier to deal with for him than usual. I missed the mute button again, excuse me. I know I make it sound like a foregone conclusion, but there's a skill gap here, you know? I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy for him to get by them, but like, well, that 3-second decel is not going to help him do anything, though. Though that might be served under safety car. Because I believe the slowdown section for that is actually on the back straight, heading towards Blanchimont, not here. I didn't even notice Knickel went in. God, most of the field went in, yeah. I mean, yeah, 9 minus 6, or 9 plus 6. 6 plus 9. Shut up, Internet. And also, shut up, Riker. You don't know what words are coming out of your mouth half the time. Top 3 are doing an impromptu dance competition by the looks of things. It's how excessively they're weaving to try and keep their tires warm. I find it insane that Polyphony went to the effort to actually have, like, they must have, like, recorded an actual bird, or actual birds for their, ambient sound effects. We just blatantly heard a normal bird chirping in that frame, or that shot a moment ago. Hey, we're on my birthday lap, 3 of 26. Ignore the fact that the first lap's formation lap and therefore isn't technically part of the scheduled race distance, but that's not important. Yeah, so Regal Auto just gonna get the slowdown here. He's even sped up in anticipation of it, that's why he gave so much space. So now I think the second pack is gonna close back in, yeah, so Regal Auto being bailed out both by only 6 cars staying out, and then also by the fact that the decel line is there, so his pit line penalty has ultimately had no effect. I just realized Boryoshi's not here. I was kind of wondering, I was like, so we had the same roughly the same attendance from Nürburgring, but there's like an entire team that didn't show up last week. What's the difference? I know Logan Cool is not here. Instead, he was replaced by Don Mariello. And we are green. Once more, let's see if we can get to the chicane without having a major destruction of vehicles. It's a single file restart, so here's hoping. Darius immediately took a shot at that AMG, and Heredia's awful exit from the first turn means he's actually just gonna take it with no resistance. Okay, sometimes it is just that easy, folks. Man, that is nose to tail. I'd be a little stressed out if I'm Heredia. Looks like everybody is making it just about fine. Robichaud already looking for a move on his new teammate. And here comes the third Vision 47 car. AJ Knickel, I think, just about bump trapped it. They're going to be 3 wide, the Vision 47 cars. That is a bad idea. We'll just get away with it, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea to do that. Is this some kind of team building exercise or a trust fall? Is that what this is? Either way, Frenchie's going to get by. AJ Knickel will probably eventually get ahead. And we'll see if Nelson can hang on. No, I think he's stuck on the outside. He's going to be overtaken by the GTR. Gets down his inside and just kind of barges Vladimir off the circuit. Vladimir either out of control or trying to send a message of, hey, I didn't like that. I'm not sure what the nature of that contact there was. He's off the track again. He's lucky to save that. At the same time, looked like Marcus Snow did the exact same thing he did and also nearly lost control. Regal Auto already into the top 5, passing the 2 cars on mediums, like I said he would probably do pretty quickly. That's very close to not being in the track limits. That's a slide. That is Luke Allen somewhere around on the way out of Stavlo 2. I told you this corner was a hidden blade. Go an inch wide, you find yourself on that AstroTurf, and that is game over. So now it is a 13, 14, 15 for CL7. I don't know, at least they made the race. Just 1 lap removed from the restart, Regal Auto already stalking his McDonald's prey. He is hungry for 4th place, if for nothing else. McDonald's. I'd kill for some McDonald's right now. I haven't eaten yet today. Let's check further back. Oh, Knickel's got a track pen, but he's not going to... It's not going to let... words. He's not going to let that stop him from out-dragging Nathan Jurgens up the Kemmel Straight. Can he get on the brakes properly? That's a yes. And that is chaos in the backfield. That is once again Brock Nelson and Ledemirak coming to blows again. And this time the favor is returned, and Nelson has shown the exit of the track, or the edge of the track boundaries. Kepley tried to get cheeky. He did not manage to get down the inside properly, though. It's a half-second decel for Ledemirak, though, so he'll just be brought back into range of the 97 car by the time we hit Blanchimont. 9:10 for ECR, the pair of them that made the race, but Maher has a whole second of decel, so that may not be lasting too long. I look away for 5 seconds, and Rodrigo passes Heredia somewhere in the middle of the course, which you don't normally do. He also, I guess, Darius must have made some kind of error. Oh yeah, look at that, his car is damaged. He must have just, like, hit something. Gone flying off the road, probably messed up Stablo. You can just easily go wide there and hit the barrier that sticks out. Which is as easy as you can find the AstroTurf or the gray that's not paved and lose control. Boy, even he gets a wiggle. See that he is human. Now his only remaining targets are a pair of Aston Martins. Lost Ledemirak spot to Pat Maher as well, but it looks like he will immediately reclaim it. Never mind, the Porsche has a high-end drag on him. But he super outbrakes the Porsche, and he will be on his merry way. The decel brought Knickel back into Jurgens' line of fire. And we'll see if Slipstream can get him to him. Looks like they're basically breaking even. 10th and a half at the braking zone. I don't think Jurgens will want to chance that. And so he wisely abstains. Heredia has not lost Regalado. Or maybe it's that Ikonen has kind of backed the 22 up into Heredia. Either way you slice it. Ridwan has clear track ahead, so he'll probably just be maintaining that lead or extending it, while Ikonen might just be playing tail gunner here. Whether advertently or not, or intentionally or not, advertently. Inadvertently means not on purpose, but advertently is not a word. Man, I can't stand English sometimes. Why do I speak it so often? I was gonna say professionally. You are not a professional racer. Stay in your lane. I'm watching this because these two have not played nice. And if we're about to cause the next safety car, I want the camera to be on it again, just like I caught the original spin at Eau Rouge on lap 1. I'm going board with Ledemirak. Actually, we'll go on board with Pat Maher. We'll see his perspective of this. What could be a blooming rivalry in the background of the field here. Oh, that's a big miss for Nelson at the bus stop. Crossover administered by the GTR, and that is a good run. We'll see if it lasts all the way down to the breaking point. A 10th between them and nothing more. But Brock Nelson manages to brake late enough. Never mind, another crossover. The Supra goes far too deep, and the GTR will just have at that one. We'll see if things continue up the Kemmel Straight and whatnot. Slipstream will be in Nelson's court. But that is a very good Eau Rouge and Radeon for that GTR. I think the Supra is going to have to concede. Oh, that's some straight line speed, though. He's going to pull alongside. Can he make the attempt? He will. Oh, he barely gets it stopped. He stays on the inside. Vladimirak is over the curb trying to find a lane. But Nelson returns to P10. Vladimirak down the inside here? I don't know what you're trying to... They make more contact. And that's going to get the GTR back ahead. That is very wide for the Supra. Here comes the Porsche. He's going to take advantage of that. And he will grab a spot off of Nelson's folly at No Name Corner. Oh, right. Yeah, there are other cars in the race. I'm trying to look at the rivalry between Nelson and Vladimirak, if there is one. Forgot Regal Auto is literally stalking Itkinen. Only 2/10 behind him. He might be able to get a move into the bus stop if he spaces himself out right. And I have a feeling he'll know how to do that. He's a World Series driver, and I'm just a guy in his reclining chair. He does not go for anything. That is a dramatically better bus stop than the map. Actually, it wasn't that much of a overspeed than I thought it was. It's all pretty spread out now. Everybody's basically a second apart from the next car. Seems the excitement has died down. We're approaching the sort of the middle point of the race. Everybody is just kind of trying to make it to the end, you know? Unless you're Regalato and Itkinen and possibly Heredia, but I don't think he's going to be much of a threat from this point on. He has started to lose the GTR. Now we're looking for it. Moves to the right. That is done and dusted, and I thought we were going to see a crossover or maybe contact at the apex, but no. Just as simple as you like them for the 22 car. But now he must go into full pursuit mode because Ridwan is 3 seconds and change up the road. Itkinen held him back for a lap or two, and that's allowed Ridwan to form a bit of a gap. Nothing super comfortable, especially considering his tires are starting to degrade after 7 laps of racing, which is actually more like 5 because of the safety car, but nevertheless. Actually, having said that, Rodrigos aren't any better. Never mind. That's just the softs at this stage of the race. We might see Robichaud start to make his way forward soon enough. Him and his team owner, for that matter. And Jurgens, I guess, is also close enough, and Palk if things get really excessive. Maher is creeping up to the back of Vladimirak. He was as high as 9th in this race, before he had his decel. It's a lot of curb. That's a decel for Adam Pelk, which will bring him into the danger zone against the 25 car. But not on this lap. He got it too late on the lap for the game to trigger it on this time around. Checking with the lead cars. They're still relatively close together, but I think the actual battle we might be looking at is Heredia versus Itkinen. If the AMG can produce it. Never mind, that AMG has no straight line speed, or just got a really bad run from the first turn. Because instead, now very quickly, actually they're both equally distanced apart. They're both half-second split. But it's actually the Aston Martin down on straight line performance. But either way, there's not much happening there at the moment. Doesn't seem to be much happening here either. Adam Pelk, well, that's not going to be a safe gap when we get onto the back straightaway, but it is for now, anyway. Rodrigo Regalado slowly eating into that lead of Red Ones, down from 3.5 to under 3. The tires are going to fall out from underneath both of them in a few laps, as well as their other, well, I would say their companions. No, Heredia is not Regalado's teammate. That is his own team. Well, it's technically Jackson Allman's team. You get the picture. The point is, it's not KVH. Looks like Vladimir may not even be waiting for the D-cell zone. He may not have a choice. You don't exactly pass through Stablo 1 and 2. And there is the zone. There goes Adam behind Vladimirak. Might be under threat from his own teammate as well, but Maher may not force the issue. No, it's all evened out. So now it's 10 and 11 for ECR, and we'll see if maybe they can try and get back to that GTR. Bars. I wonder if ECR may consider team orders. I think one or the other might have the speed to get to Vladimirak, although I don't know, because Maher's tires are getting low. Vladimirak will be on the mediums, same as Pelk, so I feel like he, in the long term, will be better equipped. Lead down to under 2.5 between Rodrigo and Ridwan. This is why you pay the price of admission. You know, if there were tickets, anyway. Which, you know, there aren't. Someone is not being kind to their tires right now. Heredia's got the worst tire wear of these lead four. And Ridwan is lower than Rodrigo's, I think actually the lowest of the four, despite the fact that he's not had dirty air since lap 1. He was in Rodrigo's dirty air for the first half of the first lap, and has been the leader ever since, although that may be contested in the not-so-distant future, although I reckon that'll only happen after we get out of the pit lane, especially since Ridwan didn't start on the mediums. So he's going to have to run a medium stint somewhere between now and the end. And that is probably going to cripple him. I just sneezed like crazy. These are the only two cars within a second of one another. Heredia is still sitting behind Itkanen, but not able to get anything decisive going. This is the closest he's been in a while. He had a pretty good Lacombe right there, but it's only going to lead him to a bunch of turns that you wouldn't really want to pass somebody at, because they're just not suitable for it. If you can stay about here out of Stablo 2, you might have a chance, but Puhan is not a passing zone, and neither is the start of the S's. still very close. Ikunin's got to be feeling some kind of pressure from this. But that's not the Stavlo 1 he needed. That's going to put him right back to square one and right back to the status quo of sitting in P4. I'm not really sure where it went wrong there, I'll be perfectly honest. The lead now down to just over 2 seconds. High 18s for Ridwan versus low to mid 18s for the GTR, for Rodrigo. I forgot his name for a second somehow. It's not like I've said it like 160 times this season. I don't know how I managed to forget it. Heredia needs to have a legendary Lasaurus right here. He might have just had it. No, he didn't. He got loose on exit, and Ikunin, despite having a scruffy entry in center, will be safe for another lap running, by the looks of things. Let's check in with the lower half of the field, see if I'm missing something. Might just be. I bet that's because the Aston's naturally aspirated, I bet. Isn't it? Oh, they both are. Never mind. I don't know. Insight from the owner of the team trying to pass Ikunin. It's just the Aston Martin's low-range acceleration is just better. Heredia's got the cornering speed, but the cornering speed doesn't ever convert to any overtakes. You need acceleration, either out of Stavlo 1 and 2, or out of the first turn. And Heredia, or rather the AMG, just can't seem to find it. On the other hand, though, we have a train of cars. The Porsches are a little off pace at the moment. Brock Nelson and Luke Allen have arrived to force the issue, and Brock Nelson gives a bit of a door check to the Porsche, but he's going to be on the long way around here, and I don't think that's going to get him too far. Oh, it did, actually. I heard Gabe cut him a huge break considering what happened at the downhill left, right, their directions. And Allen will just sneak on through Puhan, of all places. Maher must be a little bit cognizant of his tires or something. He must know that Nelson and Luke Allen are, Wait. Did Brock Nelson just mess up Puhan or something? I could have sworn he was ahead of them. Alright, well, happy birthday, Luke Allen. Finally, CL7 is no longer taking up the bottom 3 places. We might have a battle between teammates here. AJ Knickel has put the hammer down. He's up to the back of his teammate, Stefan Robichaud. Heredia is still trying to chip away at that Aston Martin, but they've both really chipped away, and more so for Heredia, at their tires. Robichaud is the first car to pit, which is a call. Does he think Softs will get to the end from there? Knuckles just cracked. That was fun. Oh man, Darius, you do not have much tire left. Nobody at the front does, except for, I guess, Rodrigo. Now the difference in tire wear is starting to show itself. The gap has not changed much, though. It's still just over 2 seconds. That was a 19 flat for Regal Auto, so the tire wear is finally kicking in for him, and I think now it's just evened out. But Luke Allen now really on the hunt. And he's gonna go for P9 on Pelk. I was confused by the leaderboard. I was like, wait a minute, wasn't he in 11th? Yeah, Frenchie Pitt. Or Robichaud Pitt. Same person. Same thing, different name. And if Pelk can hang on for long enough, Luke Allen will be under threat from Brock Nelson. Maybe. More like Brock Nelson might be under threat from Brock Nelson's fuel tank, by the looks of things. Good old Toyota Supra, not really having any kind of fuel economy worth offering. Heredia is also out of fuel. Yeah, he is out. He is just out. Darius will continue for another lap with a left front that looks like it's about to detonate. That is a decision. Nelson goes into the pits. Oh yeah, his fuel tank, right. Yeah, I just pointed that out. The RCF will have no such concerns. We can assure you of that. It will, however, have the concern of on-throttle oversteer by the looks of that. I think we should probably see the 2 leaders in this lap, especially Rodrigo's not going to have a choice with his fuel tank in that shape. Just wait to see the way out of the bus stop if we're going to see our 2 leaders go in. They both have their fuel light, but the situation is much worse, I would say, for Rodrigo. His fuel tank, that fuel light's been on since the start of the lap. Ridwan, if he fuel saved, I think could go one more, but I don't know if that's really worth the effort when he has the lead. But the lead is shrinking. So yeah, Ridwan makes the turn, Rodrigo makes the turn. Big moment in this race. Itkonen makes the turn. Darius, there's no way he's not making that turn. Look at that left front. There isn't one to look at. That's the joke. And AJ's tank is only going to get him 1 lap further if he does stay out. He does. Darius darn near misses the pit entry. So, I think AJ Knickel is going to barely inherit the race lead for exactly 1 time around the track. Or I suppose 1 tour, as any Belgian fans would probably say, considering they would just speak French. Adam Pelk is in the podium positions. Game crash. Stop the count. Nathan Jurgens with an empty fuel, literally empty fuel tank will also receive service. Ridwan is on the mediums, as expected. He's going to be stuck with them until the checkered. But that's going to definitely help him. Rodrigo with a 3-second pit line violation again. And there's no safety car queue to bail him out this time. That may have just decided the race right there. However, that's not going to put him under threat from Itkonen. It's just going to lose him, well, several seconds. It's going to be more than 3 seconds lost to Ridwan in the front. He's decelerating for 3 seconds, but he's going to have to do that on the back straightaway, which is going to cost him more time over time. That sounds redundant. He's also got Luke Allen in his way, which is only just losing him little bits and pieces of more time. He has to try and make the fast step, which Luke Allen defends. Luke Allen is not going to lay over. And Regal Auto is still forced to go too wide with the Lexus, even though he is now decelerating. Knickel pits. I imagine Ladimirak will follow him. as will Pelk. So Ridwan's time out of the race lead will last only a singular lap. And Allen will also go in at this juncture, so Regal Auto will be relieved to have that out of his way, because apparently Luke Allen was on his Logan Cool arc right there. I don't have to get out of your way, so I'm not going to. It's a lot funnier when it's not Logan Cool doing it, because when Logan Cool does it, I tear my hair out. But I'm not Luke Allen's team owner, so that's not my problem. Yeah, that is now a 7-second advantage to Ridwan, to the credit of Ridwan. So even though the softs are going to be faster, I don't know if they're going to be that much faster that Regal Auto is just going to be able to hunt him down like that. Yeah, I was only on the screen for a second, but that was a peak sports car racing show. We had 2 cars on the track and 2 cars on the pit exit. So AJ Knickel has gained massively on Darius from the pit cycle there. And he's on the softer tires, so we'll probably be seeing a battle for 5th, 6th in the near future. Darius had been jumped by Robichaud in that same pit cycle as well, so that was just all around not a great... It must not have been a very good in-lap for Darius, which, considering the shape of his tires, I'm not surprised. And that's not going to help these tires either if he does that. Actually, wait, no, AJ was already on the back of Darius. Was Robichaud ahead of him? I don't remember these things somehow. I forget how bad my memory can be. Heredia also on the mediums. Underfuels the car slightly. I wonder if he may not have just made another pit strategy folly. Heredia has been known to do that from time to time. He's already short shifting. I think he already knows he's underdone it. Because I'm pretty sure that is not the torque band of the AMG. I'm pretty sure you normally rev that out pretty high. Man, everything is... There's just nothing. I'm just kind of hoping for 5th through 9th to start condensing here. He has to set free race. Yeah, he doesn't know his own fuel saving. He doesn't know his own lead foot, right? To yell at him. You have 4th place by miles. Just simply do not that. This is not how you get the biscuit. This is just how you risk it. They don't even serve biscuits at McDonald's. They serve Egg McMuffins and McPitstop failure, McStrategy failures. You're gonna just try a dive there? I think that really threw Vladimirak's rhythm off, and that's gonna actually end up being a... yeah? Oh, there's intentional contact. Oh, it's been a moment. What in the world has happened? What did I miss between these two? I don't think Gary liked that attempt at the chicane, and he let him know. But it also almost looked like Jurgens took a swipe at the 25 before that. I don't know. It's either that, or somehow Vladimirak was just out of control on the way out of the chicane. I don't think so, though. That looked like he was in control and turned right. Either way, we have beef on the track, and I thought it was going to be between Vladimirak and Brock Nelson early on. Nelson was getting very feisty and racy early on in the event, but he hasn't really been around anybody in a while. I think he's catching up to Adam. Oh, he's definitely catching up to Adam and Pat. But that's also that's hard to tell because they just came out of the pits on the previous lap. So I have actually no earthly idea if he's catching them or not. But I can look at the gap that shrunk 3/10 in the time it took me to speak those sentences and determine that, yeah, probably. I think Maher may be struggling ever so slightly on those medium tires. God, the leaders haven't even existed in this broadcast. I've been looking at the midfield more than them. What's that say? Brock Nelson looks around the outside. Maher defends, does not give him the fastest lane. We're doing a bit of dancing, massive crossover attack. Absolutely, just Maher probably needs to find his shoes after that one. We'll see if he tries to reclaim that spot. Not into the first turn, but maybe he can get him on the way out of that turn. That's not the guy I'm looking at. Slipstream might be working here. Jurgens does not have any kind of play at Vladimir at the moment. Not the best Eau Rouge for the Porsche driver. I think Brock Nelson will be driving off into the sunset there, literally. AJ has found the back of Darius. He's very close to it. And Robichaud's half-second decel up there actually isn't going to do much. It's 2.5 ahead of him. Well, I said he wasn't going to be able to run down 7 seconds. I really did not realize how bad the mediums were in terms of sheer pace. A 17.3. I do believe that would have been pole in the qualifying session that we watched. And he did it on race pace with basically mostly a full fuel tank. There's a skill gap here. I don't know if I can make that any clear enough, but there is a skill gap, and this is it. And now we've officially hit nighttime. All of the headlights are on high. 8 laps to go by my count, which I would hope to God is right. It's 26 minus 19, Riker. Actually, it's not even that. It's 26 minus 18. That was very close. That was about to be contact from that very far away camera shot. It's not quite. If AJ gets a good Eau Rouge, I think the place will be his at the chicane. Oh, he didn't even begin to lift. Completely flat. Huge overspeed. I think that spot's just as good as AJ's. He's blinking the lights at him. I think Darius is fully aware that you were there. But he is going to contest under the brakes. It's not going to do much. And yeah, Maher has totally lost track of Brock Nelson. Nathan Jurgens has completely lost track of Vladimirak. And now AJ is only he's putting the pressure on his teammate Robichaud, whose tires are already looking a little bit worn down because he pit, I think, earlier than AJ by a lap or two. Okay, well, I think, to Heredia's credit, he has saved the fuel he actually needs. It's just that he's also lost 5 seconds to Itkinen. But he's not lost much time to Robichaud, so I think he has 4th fine. That's when he actually has more fuel in the tank than Stefan does. We got a train of 3 here, and we got Rigo Auto still chipping away at that lead. It's down to 2 now. It's basically back down to what it was before the pit stop, except now Rigo Auto is on a completely different tire compound from Redwan. So, you know, circumstances have changed. Darius has not completely lost track of AJ either. Depending on where things go from here with the two Supras, Darius could still stick his nose in and try to take some places back. Oh, AJ looks for it. He's gonna send it on his own teammate, and Robichaud's just gonna let it happen. It's not really worth forcing that issue and risking further damage. Not at this stage of the race, or any stage, but especially not this late in. That has, however, left him under huge threat from the other Canadian in the mix, which is Darius in the GTR. Just a trio of Canadians fighting over 5th place. And they are not sorry. I think I'm gonna be after making that joke, but nevertheless. Oh, Robichaud has missed Puhan. He's just gonna have to concede that to Darius. Now, the top 5 is literally just 5 different nations. Australia, Peru, Finland, the US, and then Canada. And then it's just all Americans except for Brock Nelson from Darius in 7th down to last place, Pat Maher, who must have had something really go wrong, because how did he get back here? Has he just been that off pace all of a sudden? He was up with Brock Nelson, and these guys aren't that close, so he must have missed it. He must have made a mistake on this lap. Oh yeah, look at that. 22-23 versus 40. Yeah, he must have, like, flown off the track at Eau Rouge or something. I don't know. With 6 laps to run, as Spa is completely bathed in moonlight. And the gap between the two leaders is 1.2 and dropping. The GTR is trimmed out clearly, and they both should have plenty of fuel to the end, so it's not fuel saving that's making the difference. I hate to say it, Ridwan, but I don't think your defense is probably going to do a lot. This is the remix. Once Rodrigo gets to Ridwan, there's too many R's involved. Once he gets there, I think all it's going to take is one good run from Le Source, and that's going to be curtains. The overspeed and the grip difference is just going to be too dramatic unless Ridwan somehow holds him off for like 2 or 3 laps and the softs start to slowly lose their pace. But right now, the soft tires will still be marginally quicker, and Rodrigo is clearly more than just marginally the faster driver at the moment. He was the pole sitter for a reason. Nighttime onboard from Rodrigo Regalado as he attempts to pursue the race leader. Lead under a second as we head towards Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane. He will not be close enough to issue a challenge here, that's for sure, but it's going to be a matter of time. I'm fairly confident in saying that. What did I'm dumb, never mind. No, Riker, he was always in 4th, you dunce. Ooh, well, Wladimirak was catching Robichaud pretty quickly, but that's a half-second decel. That's a 220 versus a 222. Frenchie's tire wear is really hitting him hard, or he's having to fuel save like crazy. I don't think so, though. I mean, it's the Supra, but it's not that bad, is it? Oh god, he is fuel saving. Look at his shift point there. It really is that. Holy cow. And AJ's not doing a whole lot better on fuel, but I don't really think he's saving. So I don't know. Perhaps letting Miracle have a chance at him anyway, if he's having to save that much fuel. And Nathan Jurgens is catching up to Adam Pelk. And Brock Nelson has, I think, recently been overtaken by Luke Allen, but we'll see if Slipstream will change that. And if Slipstream doesn't, that half-second decel probably will, but he's fuel-saving. Or the Lexus is just goated in a straight, or he has too much downforce in his car. I don't know. There's a lot of factors that play into that straightaway, clearly. At this point, the onboard cameras give me the best visibility because that's like seeing what the driver is seeing through headlights, as opposed to the broadcast that has zero lighting on most of the track except like the front straightaways. Oh, nearly bumper to the back of the 24. Oh, now it's Robichaud with the half-second decel. The shoe is on the other foot. The lead is stabilized. Redwan Kent, or no, name. God, too many R's. Rodrigo cannot find anything decisive here. He's inched closer, but his lap times have fallen back off. I'm not sure if that's dirty air or if his tires are now evening out with the mediums as they start to wear. There's like 3 different places to look right now. Yeah, that's not a battle. So it's either Jurgens trying to pass Pelk, Vladimir down the inside of Robichaud. I don't even know where we are. Oh, we're at the downhill right. I think that's Rivage. And a little bit of muscle, a bit of elbow grease. The Nissan is through. So that will settle that one pretty cleanly and quickly. Vladimir did not feel like waiting. Now we'll see if his teammate in the other GTR can be as quick and decisive. But, no, yeah. I think the tires are evened out now. I think Ridwan's going to be on the faster set of tires. Rodrigo got there quickly, but apparently not quickly enough, much to my surprise. I must confess. 3 laps to go. And even Rodrigo's fuel tank. Too many R's. Wait until I find out there's 2 in my name. Cripes. I don't think it's a problem, though. For 3 laps to go, I think that fuel tank is fine. Oh, this could mean something here. That is very close. He's gonna have to hold back through Blanchimont, because you're not gonna pass through here. Oh, he's off the track. I thought he was out of control, but he managed to hang on to it, but that's going to eliminate his chances at a bus stop overtake. And a half-second decel for good measure, so even if he does get the move done into the chicane, it's going to be... I don't think he's going to, though. That was a very big mistake right there. It's cost him a whole second and a decel. Oh, already his pace is gone. He's fuel saving still. You have the fuel. There's no way that's not enough fuel. If the Supra's not fuel saving, you don't have to either. Nope, nothing doing back here. I think Jurgens is taking a little bit of time back out of him, but I don't think it's enough. About to take 2 to go, and the lead is regaining. He is losing time to Ridwan again. Not much, but losing time, and right now he needs to be within half a second, not 1. Speaking of within half a second, AJ is right there. No chance at the bus stop, though. That's still 2.5 back, which is a bad idea. And AJ should know that just as well as anybody, that you don't die when you're more than 2/10 back. And Heredia got exactly the bus stop he needed to stay ahead through turn 1. The AMG may not have had the acceleration on the Aston, but apparently it has the acceleration on the Supra, now that I think Heredia has done fuel saving. Let's see where Slipstream gets us. By us, I mean Knickel. Blinking the lights, he's trying to get in Heredia's head. 2/10. Oh, that is a huge straight line speed difference, even if he's not fuel saving. Knickel down the inside. Gets it stopped. They're still technically too wide, but Heredia is forced on the curbs and the AMG doesn't like it. And that is 4th place taken for Knickel at the 11th hour, darn near. No place else to look, so unless Heredia tries something crazy on Knickel here, he might. He is. He's forced the long way around, though. Knickel defends into Puhan. That was not on my bingo card for this race. Defensive line into Puhan. But it was what was necessary. Heredia went for everything with a lap and a half of racing to go. That was his only chance, basically. You'd think, but like, all it takes is a good run from Stavlo and you can take him out to the bus stop. So, I'm not sure I follow. Either way, there are the Stablos, as mentioned. As foretold, there are those 2 corners, and those are indeed a good pair of turns for the 6 car, but the Super just has the straight line speed over the AMG, or he's still fuel saving, which considering his fuel light is on, okay, maybe he does need to fuel save. They're both on, though. They might both run out at this rate. Oh, Rigoletto's pace is gone. His tires are gone. Everything is gone. Somehow Ridwan has hung on. Bars! I thought those were like teal headlights back there. No, that's the pit entry that's being lit up back there. Oh, that is a huge exit from turn 1. AJ is under massive pressure. I thought he was going to pull alongside before Rouge. That would have been simply wrong. He gets the run he needs here, though. Does he have the straight line speed, though? The Supra had a lot of that on the previous lap. No, he's going to get a half-second decel. That is going to wrap things up here. Even if he does get him, it's not going to matter. And that's it. There's like no other battles anywhere on the track. Every outcome has been concluded, pretty much, unless AJ like flies off the track. Or Heredia forces him off the track. It takes a certain kind of pace to deny the tire compound advantage, but Ridwan has clung on, I would say. Bus stop one more time with feeling for the Aston Martin driver, and Ridwan Hamza is going to claim the W at the Spa Enduro. Just under 2 seconds over Rigoletto, who runs out over the line anyway. Ikonen should come home to claim 3rd spot. And now it remains to be seen if these two cars can get to the line without running out. This would not be the first time that we've seen people lose places to fuel strategy on the last corner. Trust me, I know. But I think at this point AJ could coast over the line. Heredia is out, actually. No, he isn't. He's just very close to out. Nickel 4th, Heredia 5th. Now he is out of fuel. We have a bit of a battle to the finish line. Oh, Vladimirak is out! And Pelk is gonna try the outside around Robichaud. You're gonna have to pack a lunch for that one, buddy. But the Super might be out, who knows? Drake to the line, and it's still Robichaud's position, but they both will take a spot over Vladimirak, who has run out of fuel. Man, pushing every last drop is the ARC field tonight. Luke Allen 10th, Nathan Jurgens 11th, with tires that are screaming bloody murder. Nelson 12th on his debut. Oh, you're out. Oh, you are going to be not making it to the line, pal. You have miscalculated. Maher is out of fuel. 13th for Kepley, it will be 14th for Snow, and Maher is out of fuel. But with the outcomes settled and everything else, that will eventually wrap things up for the ARC Group 3 Masters from Spa. Heredia has already left. He is done waiting. Same time next week. Tablet, can you give me something here? Schedule, thank you. Next week, we head to Austria, the Red Bull Ring. And then from there, it's Brands Hatch, why? And then Monza to end out the season. So, 3 more weeks to go, although there's an off week before the final round. Shoutouts to DIVEBOMB, our title sponsor here at AutoRacingConnected, the news outlet over multiple forms of social media that covers motorsports news for every discipline. And to the Racing Rats, our Assetto Corsa mod partners, keeping, I think next is IndyCar. I think I heard being mentioned. I don't follow Assetto Corsa too well. I just spout out the sponsorship plug because I've been told to do that. But yeah, next week is Austria. That I think is, I'm assuming, not an enduro, but there's already a bit of beef starting. I have to take a shower and everything, so I can't even be a part of it. But until next week, I am out of here. Goodbye.